We're back! It's Mario Party 2. There's 1 versus 3 minigames. So, when you got the red tree here, you pick the game, and you get to pick what orientation of team there is. Who is the one player out. So, you can always pick how the thing goes. So, our first game is Bowl Over, which is a game that we saw in Mario Party 1. It's the bowling one. But there's a difference in this. Most of the 1v3 games in the Mario Party 2 actually work like this. You need to knock down all 3 of the opponent character pins to win. So in Mario Party 1, in the 1v3 games, there was always, like, the one player would take coins from whoever they hit. Right. Or the 3 players would take coins from the 1 player if they won. In Mario Party 2, you don't take coins from the other players in normal minigames. It's just whoever wins gets the coins. So if the 1 player wins, they get 10 coins. If the 3 players win, they each get 10 coins. So in this you get 2 throws of the shell, bowling shell.
The bowling shell.
The non-character pins are each worth 1 coin. But, and you will get those coins even if you lose, but if you knock down all 3 of the opponents, then you win. There are 3 stages of Bowl Over that have slightly different curves over this canyon.
Just to make it harder for the bowler.
Yep. So you can see here, you can just drive off the canyon. Off the side. Oops. And here's what it looks like when the bowler loses. He's very sad. And yeah, all 3 of the 3-player team will win if any one of them remains standing.
Okay.
So, you know, you can knock down 2 of them, and if the 3rd one is still standing, then those 2 the 2 that got knocked down, will still get their full reward for winning the game.
So you're incentivized to work together.
Yeah.
Imagine being on the couch shouting, "No, left, left!" And that's kind of the experience. This is one from Mario Party 1.
Yeah, crane game. Except in Mario Party 1, you would grab 1 player or 1 object, and whatever the first thing that you brought in was what you got. And you'd steal 1/3 of the coins from the player. In this one, you just need to grab all 3 of your opponents and get them in. And instead of having, like, a chest and bags and other things that give you coins, there are clocks that give you extra time. So you see we've got this 15, 20, and 30 clocks for that. And the 3 players, the only control they have is wiggle, as in last time. They just wiggle.
But you can wiggle out of getting caught.
Yes. It's a little bit easier in this game for the dolls to actually wiggle out. It takes a little bit more effort for the crane player to maintain their grip, I think. But, it's still a little bit skewed in favor of the crane player, I think. At least, like, if they're halfway decent at rapidly pressing a button.
Which most of these games are being halfway decent at rapidly.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are just be good at button press. And you see we grab all of the players, and you don't need to grab all of the clocks. And you grab them all, and you gotta win, and you do a slow rotating. And if you don't grab them all, and this is what happens if you don't keep a grip.
Nope.
You know, you see he drops it.
You dropped a Luigi.
Also, you can just ram yourself down into the pipe. And he just goes limp.
My mood.
Now they're all dolls. Move to the Music is an interesting one. It's a rhythm game.
Okay.
And instead of like multiple stages, you have multiple songs. The 3 players need to copy the moves of the Dance Master.
Okay.
So the 1 player chooses the dance. You've got up, down, left, right, and A, B, and Z as your dance moves. And you know, once the one player sets out what the dance is, then the three players need to remember what that was and copy it. So, you know, here Mario is, we've got doing the dance, and now it splits it up between the three players. So you want to memorize the whole thing.
Because you don't know which you'll be responsible for pressing.
And you can, as the dance master, you're just trying to do something that'll be hard to remember. And you can see Peach fucked it up, but as with the other 1v3s, if any of the three make it through all the way, then all of them win. This one is heavily skewed, I think, in favor of the three.
Yeah, because they get essentially 3 chances.
Yeah. There are 2 songs. Rhythm Shaker and Dancing Star. So, Dancing Star is more notes, basically. And it's a different song.
Yippee, yippee, yippee. That's not yippee.
Yeah, each character has... And you, as the dance master, you don't have to do something for all of the notes. You can just leave it alone. And, you know, that's an option that you can pick, and then they have to do nothing for that note. Peach is bad at dancing.
Just strange. But... well, maybe it's not.
And here's what it looks like when they all just completely fuck up. I don't know what happened here. These are all still super hard computers. But they all just somehow failed there. And the Dance Master wins. BOB-OMB Barrage. This one is fun, I think, for both players. The one player is in this little wooden tub, moving around this small lake. The other 3 are trying to throw bob-ombs into the tub. They flick the control stick to throw the bombs, and the further that they push for the flick, the farther that the bob-omb gets thrown. If they're too indecisive with their aiming, then the bob-omb can explode in their hands, and then they get stunned for a brief period. So if the one player survives 30 seconds without getting any bob-ombs, they win. If any bob-ombs land in the bucket, then the 3 players win. So this game is tricky for both sides. Because the control for flicking the bob-ombs is a bit tricky to get used to. But also, even if you're just wildly randomly throwing stuff, you might happen to get something in there if the tub player's not being careful.
Whoa.
And that's what happens when you get a bomb in. It explodes. And then they have to take a swim. Look away! This one's weird. So, there'll be a timer. After the timer runs out, you need to be looking in a direction other than what the one player is looking. And if you're looking in the same direction as the one player, you get knocked out. The one player is trying to knock out everybody in 5 rounds of this. So you can look up, down, left, right, or forward. You can see there, Peach was looking to the left and Mario was looking to the left, so Peach gets knocked out. And you've got the little lights on the side that show your timer.
Peach got even smaller.
Yeah, that every time that you match it, even if you've already lost, it can still track it and it will knock you further out. That's just a fun display thing, but that's a thing. So this one is, I think, also pretty tricky for the one player to get, because you need to actually get all of the opponents.
It's again sort of the,
and whoever loses just gets X-eyes and spirals out of existence. Quicksand Cache. This is another bonus game as a 1v3. The one player is in this Bowser suit in the center of this pile of quicksand, controlling the spin of the quicksand. Coins will drop off from the sides. The 3 players are all running around trying to grab coins. If any of the 3 players gets too close to the center, they fall in. They still get to keep any coins that they grabbed previously, but they no longer can run around to grab more. The one player is just trying to rotate things to keep them away from the coins, because any coins that fall into the center, they get to collect. So, this is a weird one. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
Whoever gets the most coins is the winner.
Well, I mean, it's a bonus game, so you just
So
everybody
whoever gets the most coins is the winner. Capitalism.
Archer-ival.
I get it.
In this, the one player is an archer, and the other 3 are archery targets. The archer needs to knock down all 3 of the player targets to win. There are also 2 bonus targets that'll be there, Toad, Boo, or Baby Bowser, and they're just worth a couple of bonus coins.
But mostly they're in there to get in the way of the players.
Yeah, because the players, as archery targets, are on this 2D plane. They cannot move past each other. So that's the primary way that the one player is going to get them. Because they can kind of move fast enough to get out of the way of the arrow as it's being aimed.
Unless there was something blocking them, like little Baby Bowser.
Yeah. If your arrow hits something after the timer runs out, you do not get it.
Oh.
Filet Relay. This one is weird. A lot of them are weird. So, you're penguins, and you're trying to race with a fish. You've got a fish, and you're racing and trying to get to be the first one. The 3 players are on a relay team. The one player is alone and just has to run the entire race themselves.
Okay, but a fillet is a type of cut.
Yes. Anyway, you tap A repeatedly to waddle. If you go too fast, you'll slip and you might fall over. Also, there's walls that you need to avoid bumping into. You need to avoid bumping into your opponent. There are some snowballs that get thrown by things off to the side. And yeah, you can see there that they're relay racing. And yeah, there's a couple of hills at the end.
So it's really the skill level of the entire other team versus one person.
Yep. The 3 players can move slightly faster than the one player because they're smaller and they have smaller fish. But because they have to do the relay, they pause each time they throw the fish. Lights out. In this one, the one player has a hammer, the 3 players have light bulbs. The one player is trying to smash all of the 3 players in a dark room where their light bulbs are the only lights. As the advice says, you've got a vertical swing and a horizontal swing with the hammer. A vertical swing will hit the ground and make stars pop out, so if you've lost track of where you are in the dark, you can do that.
Okay.
I find this game to be extremely easy as the one player, but the computers are not as good with it. So as you saw there, I just instantly wrecked all of them. But yeah, you can see here, you do the vertical swing and it shows you where you are in the dark.
It also apparently squashes.
Yeah, it also flattens your opponent. Also, I find it interesting that the light is not actually centered on the light bulb, it is centered on the character. So Luigi's light bulb is not actually lit up, it's his ass. And again, you need to hit all 3 of your opponents. If any one of them survives to the end of the timer, then they all win. Shock, drop, or roll. This one is stressful for the 3 players, but it's not difficult. It's very difficult for the one player to win. The one player has this lever that they can do one direction or the other, and that affects the spin of this cylinder that the others are on.
Okay.
The other 3 players need to remain on the cylinder until the time limit runs out. Anyone who falls off goes into the electricity. I find this, as I said, extremely difficult to win as the one player. Because, like, the time that it takes for the cylinder to stop and change directions is a bit much. If you just hold it in one direction continually, then the 3 players can just run the opposite direction and not have to touch anything. They can jump, they don't have to. So, yeah, it's weird. It's, I actually had to quit out and come back with all human players in order to get the show off what happens when the 1 player wins, because I could not get any of the computers to get knocked off. Here's Rainbow Run, that one that we unlocked with buying games. It is Tightrope Treachery from Mario Party 1.
Yeah.
Except now, instead of being on boats, the 3 players are on clouds.
And
you cannot move your cloud. I believe in Mario Party 1, you could move your boat around.
Yeah.
In this version of the game, your clouds are entirely moved by the wind. So you cannot control where you are, just where you're aiming. And you're trying to fire your cannon. The 1 player is on this rainbow, the thin rainbow, above a huge chasm, and trying to stay up and make it to the end of the race.
So, if they run out of time, or if they fall off, they lose.
Yes. This one I also actually had to, switch to all human players in order to see what happens when the 1 player wins. Yeah. I probably would have been able to do it if not for the fact that they're all on super hard difficulty.
Yeah.
But you can see here, they're just very, very accurate. And there's really, you cannot dodge the cannonballs as the 1 player. You don't move fast enough for that. So, yeah, you can see here's timeout. And he falls over and twitches. And here's being knocked off. And here's actually winning. Yay. That's all the 1v3 games, so check in tomorrow for the 2v2 games. See you then.
Yeah.